Hey, it's TT the manager, and welcome back to another episode of Level Up Your Digital Marketing Podcast. So today's episode is a request from my listener, Kat. I've sent out a request a couple of weeks ago on Instagram to ask what my followers wanted to hear, and Kat requested a video. Kat is an aspiring digital marketer, and during her research and job search, she's been seeing the word SEO pop up in every job listing that she's looking at, and she wanted to know, what the heck is SEO and why is it so important to employers? Why is it such a important skill for and job seekers to have? So today we're going to talk about that. Thank you so much, Kat, for that request. Let's get into it. So when you search for something on Google, have you ever wondered how the search engine decides what websites to show you? That answer is SEO. SEO is the process of optimizing your content to rank higher in search engine results pages, or what we call SERPs. So that search engine results page is an acronym that we use called SERP or SERPs. You'll hear the word search, you'll hear search engine results page, you'll hear SERP. That is when you search into Google, all of the results that come up. All right, you learned a term. You've learned a marketing term. Yay. So when you type in a search on a search engine like Google, YouTube, or even Instagram, yes, is a search. They have a search engine. Anywhere there's a bar, there's a search engine. The search engine uses an algorithm or algorithms to determine which results to show first. And I'm going to repeat that. The process of optimizing your content for this search that you show up at the top of search engine results pages is SEO. And why is that important? Well, think about it. When you yourself search for something on Google, how often do you click on the second page of the results or even the third? Most people don't. Think about it. The last time, do a Google search. Look and see how many results pages. Look at the bottom and see how many pages there are. There are quite a few pages that come up for search results, but we tend to only look at the first or maybe the second. Very few people look at the third, fourth, fifth, or even subsequent pages. That is, and if your website isn't on one of those first few results pages, you're missing out on a lot of potential traffic, customers, and business. And that's where SEO comes in. By optimizing your website for relevant keywords and phrases and content, you improve your search results, rankings, and drive more traffic to your site. All right? That's what it is. That's search engine results. That's SEO in a nutshell. But SEO is so much more than just stuffing your website with keywords. There are so many factors that go into it. Like, you have to create high quality content. You have to optimize your website structure so that it's a certain way. The way it's navigated, the way your website is navigated, is search engine results, search engine optimization, using high quality backlinks. There is so much more that goes into search engine optimization, and we're not going to get into that right now because we're in the Level Up high overview of it. All right. If you do want to know more about it, you can consult with me, or we can request a video to go very more in depth into SEO, and I can talk about SEO specifically, what it is, and we can do a long video on that. Let me know in the comments or DM me or on Instagram. All right. But that is why, SEO is such an important skill for digital marketing job seekers to have, because it is, as a digital marketing candidate, I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. Employers are looking for it. So I'm going to kick off a list of why it's such an important reason. All right. As before I said, Google. SEO is a critical component of every digital marketing strategy, every single digital marketing strategy, no matter what type of business you are in, no matter what type of business you go into representing. If you decide to do this as a career for another company, search engine optimization is going to be very important. It touches every single job. It's the most cost-effective way to drive traffic to a website, and it's the most cost-effective way to increase brand awareness. So as such, many businesses rely on SEO to generate leads, sales, and revenue. And by having a strong understanding of SEO, job seekers can demonstrate that they have skills, the skills and knowledge to help businesses achieve its digital marketing goals. Secondly, search engine optimization is constantly evolving. Google, who is I would say we follow as digital marketers, we follow what Google says because Google is the search engine. When you say search, you say Google. When you say search for something, you say Google it. And so therefore we all look to what Google's saying. So Google, what they've done is they have a standard. They put together these standards for those of us in search engine, for their search engine. So what it does is, and I don't want to get too in depth in the search engine optimization, but what happens is let's say I build a website. I publish the website to the internet. Google gets notified that this website is up. What they'll do is send up what we call spiders to crawl your website, and it pulls out all of the information. It looks for relevant information to figure out what your website is about, who to show it to, and all of this information, your pictures, your what we call metadata. So if you put a picture, what is up under the picture, what descriptions you give to that picture, all of that stuff, the title of your website, that is all taken into consideration for the Google crawlers in this Google search engine. So let's say that you're a baker and you have a website that you just launched called Bala Bakers. You have that website up. It has a recipe. It has a blog. The recipe section is blog section, and it has about you section, and it has your location and about like when you're open and stuff. That's it. Those four sections. What Google is going to do is it's going to crawl each one of those, and there's no rhyme or reason as to which page it crawls first. That's up in the air. That's debatable. So let's say for argument purposes, let's say it crawls up first your homepage. You've designated a homepage. It crawls up that homepage and reads all of the information on that homepage about you, about what you do, your location, and all of that stuff. And then it may go to the second page, depending. Like I said, there's so many. It's secret as to how it works. But let's say it crawls up the second page and it gets all of the recipes, and it crawls up the third page and it gets all of your blog posts, and it crawls up the fourth page and it gets whatever else you put there, and it compiles it all and it saves it into this thing, and I'm going to call Brain. And when someone searches for baker, let's say you're in Detroit, Michigan, and I'm in Detroit, Michigan, and I search for bakers in Detroit, Michigan. Google is going to use my location because I'm about two miles away from Bala Bakery. It's going to use my location. It's going to use some things that it knows about me and some things it knows about your website to determine where to show it to me on the search engine results page. So your job as a search engine optimizer, as an SEO, is to make sure that when I search for Bala Bakery, that it comes up at the top on the first page and not at the bottom of the first page, not on the third page, not on the fourth page, and surely not on fifth, sixth, second, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th search result page. All right. That's what happens. So like I said, it's constantly evolving. So it crawls up this page today, it crawls up this thing tomorrow, it crawls up this thing the next day. And then that's the way that we understand it as marketers today. Tomorrow, Google says, no, That's not how we're going to do it. We actually want you to make your homepage your fourth page, and we want you to make your about page your second. And if it doesn't, we can when my spiders crawl it, you're not going to rank as high as you should because you haven't done these things to optimize your website. That's not what it's asking, but that's an example. So not every day, but very, very often, Google will change its policy on how things are. I wouldn't say policy, but there's a word for it, but it changes what it looks for. It'll change the way that it goes about checking for search engine results and all of that stuff. For one, to keep us on our toes so that we aren't cheating the system. That is the biggest reason, because before SEOs were doing things like stuffing words into a website just so that it would rank higher. And then when you and I go to search that website, it was the first result, but it made no sense when we went to it. It just said baker, 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 bakery, 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 recipe, baker, highest baker, baker in Detroit, baker recipes, get this recipe, cake recipe. That's what the whole website said. And so therefore it was useless to you and me. And then Google implemented guidelines that say your website needs to have this structure. It needs to be readable to people looking at it, all of that kind of stuff. Those kind of guidelines are in there. And so we as digital marketers, we follow those guidelines and best practices and optimize our websites that go on to our websites that we want to show up in the search engine results page so that they show up. All right. Thirdly, SEO is a highly analytical field. SEO professionals need to be able to track, analyze data from various sources, including search engines. You get your data from search engines. You get your data from social media platforms. You get your data from websites. You get your data from analytical tools. You'll get your data from all of these different tools. And by having a strong understanding of SEO, job seekers can demonstrate that you have an ability to collect, analyze, and interpret the data to make informed decisions. And that can go a long way outside of just SEO into the business practice itself. And that's where I'm going to go into the final point, where SEO is a cross-functional skill. SEO professionals, they need to collaborate and vet on various teams. They need to collaborate with various teams, including content creators, web developers, and social media managers to achieve their goals. So by having a strong understanding of SEO, job seekers can demonstrate that they have the ability to work with others and contribute to a team's success. You are a team player. That's what it is. So now that we've gone over like what SEO is and how it can be used, I'm going to give you some examples of SEO in a job. So as a job seeker, what you could be doing potentially as an SEO in particular jobs. All right. So for instance, let's say you're a digital marketer and you work for a movie theater company. And I'm going to show you, I can go on and on and on and on and on. You can use SEO in so many ways. But as a movie theater company, you could be in charge of making sure potential moviegoers, when they search for movies, that your chain is the top of the search engine results page. You work for a garden supply chain. You could be responsible for making sure your gardening how-to videos get seen by eager gardeners on YouTube by using keyword-rich titles and descriptions. If you work for a nonprofit, you could be making sure that your nonprofit's bios are searchable across social media so that those that want to get help can reach you. You're a digital marketer for a fitness chain. It could be your responsibility to make sure that your company's blog reaches people looking to learn about ways to live a healthier lifestyle. So as you've seen from the above list, there are so many ways that potential employers could use SEO. And like I said before, I could go on and on and on and on. I could ask you a job and I could tell you how SEO could be used. We could do this. This could be a webinar that could go on for hours. Just pick a business and I'll tell you how SEO works for that business. SEO is that important. So if you're looking to get into digital marketing, make sure you spend some time learning about SEO. And I've linked in the descriptions, I've linked in my resources, and on my link tree, I have a list of resources where you can get SEO help, where you can learn about SEO for free, because there are courses that do teach SEO for paid, of course, but you starting out as a digital marketer, and me myself as a digital marketer, I am a digital marketer. I have done digital marketing for companies, and I have not paid for a digital marketing certification per se. My courses, most of them, 99% of them, there are two that I paid for very, very early on in my career through Coursera. But the majority of the courses that I learned, like for SEO and for Google ads and YouTube ads and video, that stuff is all free. And I put a list, compiled a list of resources for you. So check those out in the description or in my link tree, or wherever you're listening to or seeing this. There should be a way for you to access that. It's such an important thing for me that I've linked it. And it's a skill that will serve you very, very well throughout your job searching career. I use it every day. I use it every day when I'm on my accounts. I look to to see that my social media account bios are searchable. I use it for websites, for my artists, and for my own websites, and for my courses. I mean, it's so important. So don't forget to pick up your resources and learn more about SEO, okay? All right. We went over a lot today. We went over what SEO is. We went over how to use SEO practically, and we went over some examples of how you would use SEO in a business as a digital marketer yourself. And I also gave you some resources to learn more about SEO and to investigate more into SEO. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, or wherever you're wherever you're listening to or seeing this podcast, follow whatever you can do to support this podcast. I wholeheartedly appreciate everyone that is subscribed, that is followed to the podcast, that watches it repeatedly. Some of you have watched it more than once. Even if you take it and play it and walk off the second time, I so appreciate every single listen, play, and view. That is it for this episode of Level Up Your Digital Marketing Podcast. Once again, I'm TT, the manager. Thanks for watching.